Hello, everyone. So we got a pretty solid another game for you guys today. So this Purdue Silver versus SJU should be very exciting. Say as a former Silver team member here for Overwatch, I'm definitely excited to be able to root for the team here, see if they're able to really show off their stuff in this game. Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I'll say I'm Medica, aka Meme Hunter, aka Nate. I'll say I was one of the former tank players, for Purdue Silver. Also a Purdue alumni. Just stepping in to help out with some casting. I say Nutty, if you want to introduce yourself as well.
Yep. What's up, guys? My name's Nutty, aka Abby. I'm currently a sophomore at Purdue University. I currently play Purdue Purple, so play in. Feel free to tune in. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Oh, awesome. I say with some interesting. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. A lot of people typically didn't like Samoa, I feel like, when it came out, but I feel like people have come around a lot on it recently. So
Yeah.
really exciting to see what comes out on it.
Sojourn and Zarya.
So bans are looking like Sojourn and Zarya here. What do you think of that, Nani?
I think with the Zarya ban, we might be looking at potentially a Diva comp, or because the nice thing about this map is it's really good for rush. I can definitely see like a dive kind of being played around here. The Soj ban, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, Soj is very strong right now in our current meta. I mean, always has been, but
Definitely.
there are definitely like angles here on Samoa that are really deadly. I can easily like pick off any of the backlines, so I could definitely see that ban there impactful.
100%. I think it's gonna be a real hard focused. Just playing as fast as you can. Really getting into the individual, like finding a target to go on and absolutely just deleting them off the map. Should be very interesting to see how these teams play out this first
Definitely. Yeah, it's looking like we have a JQ rush comp on Purdue Silver, and on the enemy team we have a Orisa rush with a little bit of poke, kind of see. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Orisa and JQ here is a very interesting matchup. Should be a little tough for Cadenza, but I'm sure he'll find a way to pull through.
Definitely.
Honestly, Orisa really looking for some space. Cadenza going in aggressive with the axe. Gonna look to take a lot of space, but young Elix finding himself picked by AZF in this first fight is gonna give Blue Silver a pretty big advantage here. With SJU being down to support, they're just gonna have to walk back in this fight. It's just gonna be a little tragic for them, but Blue Silver holding that space constantly.
Yeah, it's really important to keep hold that choke there on this map specifically, and they're doing a good job of it.
No, absolutely. I'll say they're really looking to kind of hold this high ground area, not necessarily as high as they can, but control the central space. Online going for a bit of a flank here.
Oh.
I'll say Captain Chuck finding himself a victim of a nasty little dive there. AZF and Cadenza finding their targets is going to mean that SJU has found himself a little wiped.
Yeah, that was what they did there was actually interesting. They held choke, backed up a little, kind of just like shouted. They all just like pounced on their backline, and honestly that was a really good play, kind of done by them.
100%. No, absolutely. I think getting into this next fight, we're gonna see a few ultimates come out for sure. Maybe a blade coming out from AZF. They're also looking to hold point aggressively. Is gonna be able to create a lot of space for SJU. So with that blade coming out, it's gonna be a real exciting first blade here potentially. I'll say, but getting speared is disgusting right there. Unfortunately, AZV finding himself a victim. With Hatsu and Calamite finding themselves at the same victim.
That is unfortunate.
Unfortunately, having their first fight loss.
I will say they do have some ults coming up. They have Pulse. They got Beat coming up. They got Kitsune Rush, so they can easily make a play to get this point back here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kitsune starting off with a pulse bomb, maybe Kitsune here is gonna be a really defending show of aggressive ultimate usage. Yeah, online thankfully looking for this big pulse bomb. Kind of doing a cross on tour. ASV finding his first victim here, Captain Duck. So Cass not really having the mobility that he's looking for to get out of that situation. Alamie's finding himself dead, but Purdue Silver responded full. My goodness. Purdue Silver's able to find the picks and retake control of this point. Absolutely massive, and even getting to keep Pulse and building JQ all here. It's nasty.
See this next fight. Pop that ult.
Yeah, I would say Kiri, Cass, and Genji all coming up from the side of SJU is going to be pretty solid advantage for them. Unless Cadenza goes in a little early and decides to get a nasty ult out here, responded by with B. The High Noon walking forward with no recourse is going to find Hatsu.
It's at their own
Very
point.
unfortunate for Purdue Silver. Ooh, online pick before he can even find the pulse bomb here is disgusting. And ASV finding himself pick as well. See, this is a very back and forth round so far, even although the percentages don't necessarily show it thus far as well.
Yeah, you know, we're coming up with a blade on Purdue Silver. We still have Pulse.
Yeah,
the enemy... Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying like the enemy team also has Genji blade, so definitely have to play this very carefully here.
No, definitely. I'd really like to see online go for an aggressive pulse here, but a big blade should be coming out from ASV. I say online getting picked here, unfortunately, not able to find the pulse in that first situation. But ASV still alive, still alive and kicking, could potentially find a big blade here. Oh, but not able to get more than just young.
Ben's over here popping off.
Yeah, Cadenza out here saying, this is my point, you're not going to take it away from me. Oh my goodness, what a disgusting little 3K from him.
Yeah, you're on Purdue Silver territory.
Seriously. Oh, what a nasty pull right there at the end. Keeping Doom from touching, letting Purdue in a situation in this game.
That was a very good pull, I agree. And yeah, the Doom swap just, even if you went ball,
no,
out of like and mobility.
Yeah, the mobility is definitely going to be a big aspect going into touch there. But swapping back to the Rissa, actually, I think what SJU is trying to accomplish is really trying to be the team that's kind of stopping Purdue Silver in its tracks. But they're unfortunately not able to stop Purdue Silver's just absolute offense.
Yeah, man. I mean that's like the I really like to see. Everyone just pounces on the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Purdue Silver just getting massive aggressive there, but Cadenza paying the price for it. Very unfortunate, along with Online and Hatsu paying the same price. Yeah, Purdue Silver finding the aggression, but not finding the kills to back it up. That is massively unfortunate for them, but thankfully it's still the beginning of the round, so they still got lots of time to make that up. Say the ultimate bank not looking super far in either team's direction. Should be very interesting to see how this next fight goes. So the spear not finding anyone from Mr. Hands, but Purdue Silver looking to push through hallway and get a little aggressive. The nade getting reflected might be a little dangerous. Cadenza being a little patient on the pull, trying to find Mr. Hands out of position. Ooh, Hatsu finding himself a victim in this fight is unfortunate. Ooh, Cadenza getting aggressive. ASV being able to respond on that aggression is going to be so big from Purdue Silver. Online looking to win this duel. My goodness. Purdue Silver's aggression is really paying off here, I think.
Rissa, all he wanted is JQ. Comp at all. Let's interpret how Rissa counters JQ. Cases that is true. Like, not there. Just
yeah.
has like best like ability.
Yeah. Nettie, I think your mic might be cutting out a little bit. I don't know. But ASD finding that first victory along with Hatsu is going to be nasty. Finding a big blade, a big 3K in this fight along with Hatsu, finding his 1. Finding a 4K, excuse me. Had to put me back in my place. Gonna be an absolutely nasty play out here from ASB. But really, you know, Purdue still has a very solid ult bank going to this next fight.
I agree. You have pull. Definitely easily make a play here.
100%. I'd say Purdue. Unfortunately, SJU getting aggressive with that the Orisa ult there. Really well played from Mr. Hands. I'd say absolutely commendations to him on the 3K. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what Kadeza can do here with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like how much aggression they're showing, and I really want to see that be kept up for sure. Online potentially looking for this pulse bomb here should be a little. It should could.
Yeah.
Unless he gets poked out.
They do see her.
With Kitsune guiding, Purdue silver. Ooh,
that's a really good pick
nice
there. Huge beat.
Absolutely disgusting. Yep, the blade coming out from SJU, but Calamite said, "I don't want you to find the rest of my team." So Cloudburst is just not gonna find any picks there.
Yep.
Online showing that he can in fact get nasty with these pulse bombs.
Definitely.
Ooh, ASB and Calamite finding themselves the victim at the end of that fight. So they might just turn this around for SJU.
And they got Orisa ult. Ooh. That kills to carry
nice
go.
Orisa ult from man.
Yeah. It's like JQ.
Yeah, Orisa doing a whole lot of Orisa stuff here is just gonna be able to find a disgusting little 3K, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, once Orisa has you in a like impossible to get out of it with all her cooldowns or to fight, she's just like a walking tank, literally.
No, absolutely. She's so hard to kill, but she has so many skills going for her. It's really hard to find an opportunity without gold.
Definitely.
After Chuck finding the first in this fight is gonna be disgusting. Bones finding the second. Cadenza finding Captain Chuck. Good from there. Purdue Silver still's in a good spot to be able to use that JQ ult. Get a little.
That is a huge JQ ult.
With the Orisa not get with Mr. Hands not getting cleansed, still able to survive and find 2 more, maybe even 3. It's gonna put this map in a 1-1 situation.
Yeah, I mean that was a really good JQ ult, but you know that Suzu, it just completely counters it, and yeah, I have to say that was definitely a fight right there.
No, definitely. It's you know, Curious is such a hardcore meta staple for so many years now, and it's really cool. It's really cool to see how the metagame has increased to this point. But you know, some people like it, some people don't. But definitely a character with a lot of flair.
Yeah, she definitely like up there in terms of like top support. She can work in a lot of comps: rush, dive, even poke. Her kit's just like really good, I'd say.
Absolutely. For sure. It's very cool. It's very cool to see how flexible that she can be as a support, but Lucio being paired with her is just such a nice combo that you see them so much together.
Yeah. Looks like
SJU and Purdue Silver not looking to back down at all in this first fight. ASB being put in a scary position with the Genji double dive. Ooh, ASB finding himself the ability to get aggressive. Cadenza finding the first pick here, along with Calamite putting themselves up 4 to 3.
Yeah, I just
very
got
nice
killed.
ASB said, "Let's clean this fight out." Yes. Yep, very nice.
That was a really
amazing stuff.
They're definitely calling out their targets. You know, that's what I like to see.
Absolutely, no, it's very exciting. You know, Purdue being a little bit behind in comparison to Mr. Hands, who is building up his ult as fast as he can, turning a scary terrorist situation. Ooh,
pick on Genji.
That's unfortunate. Purdue Silver just looking to get a little aggressive, even if they're down one. I said Captain Chuck finding Hotsu, and Cadenza finding himself, and Arissa all victim. Massively unfortunate there. That cast right click perk is just so key doing that damage over time.
To agree. But they have Deadeye, the Tsune.
Yeah, honestly, even just played Kitsune, it should be a massive walk-up situation here.
Definitely.
The Captain Chuck not able to find one, but young Elex just makes up for it.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Purdue definitely has a few ults to be able to get aggressive here.
Yeah, definitely curious how they want to do the rush here, whether to engage with it or during the fight.
Yeah, definitely. They could go for an early pulse here. They would choose to engage in with the beat blade.
It's a huge pick.
Yeah. It allows them to get aggressive enough to find that first pick. Should be quite a big ult advantage for them. Let's say with online just landing these pulses like crazy now.
I mean, that is a clean fight right there, and they still have, which is very good, and Kitsune.
No, absolutely. Purdue Silver is still in quite a good position here to be able to take this next fight. With Beat and Blade coming up, it still will be quite dangerous. But if Purdue Silver plays aggressive enough here, they shouldn't have to worry too much about taking this team. Right?
Yeah, just with that JQ ult, you gotta be careful with that Suzu. Definitely calling it out would help for Purdue Silver if they're doing that.
No, absolutely. Oh man. I say Cloud is still getting aggressive. And Cloud Chuck, man, Cloud and Chuck really find themselves a nasty DPS duo on the side of SJU.
They still have Junk. They can easily engage with that. They definitely plan this right.
Absolutely. Seems like Purdue Silver is really going to be looking to play for this JQ ult here. Really looking to bait out the cleanse. It's going to be the key that they're looking for. Yeah, honestly, Mr. Hand's really getting aggressive at the beginning of this fight, trying to find his first little thing. ASP though, able to find that first. Make it following up.
2 picks right there. Ooh, needs to kill on Junker.
Captain Chuck finding Purdue Silver's only online ultimate is still just not going to be enough. I'll say, but there's still potentially one last fight here, so SJU is put in a scary situation of do they touch, do they not? It's looking a little dicey there for them, but Cadenza's still coming back with JQ ult. It might be able to defend it properly. SJU getting a touch. Ooh, the early JQ ult. Maybe able to find one. I see, very nice blade from ASV, and a nice beat from Calamite is going to be able to secure out this fight.
Definitely, that was a nice. Just timing out that Jungle Queen ult, just really good here, and definitely Cadenza definitely knew when to do it and stuff, and then the blade after that, it was just beautiful. Honestly, props to Silver team for that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think they're really focusing on the teamwork aspect, and that beat blade combo really is so good for letting.
Definitely, and that's the beauty with Jungle, honestly.
Yeah, there really is so much beauty behind that aggressive JQ comp. It looks like Purdue Silver really just kind of took it home.
Wait, am I cutting out too much, or?
Yeah, you're cutting out a bit.
These ABGL mics, bro. Okay.
Looks like APGO mics might need a touch up, but if anyone on stream is watching gets the chance to be able to stop over by the APGO, some real cool stuff over there. That's a extremely cool Extremely cool technology they've got going on there. Amazing little setup in the basement of the Purdue co-rec. Totally recommend giving it a check out.
Yep.
Actually, not paid for, guys. Not paid for, I swear.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious on what the next map's going to be here.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of really great options on the side of SJU here for options to go for. Um,
Definitely.
any thoughts on what with based on that Orisa comp, what SJU might end up going for in this next round?
Yeah, so with them staying on the Junker Queen comp, I mean, Orisa at some point was working, but with with enough coordination and teamwork, it's just gonna like stomp any comp. I definitely would like to see them possibly going for a potential poke here, maybe. Kind of like, because poke definitely is one of Junker Queen's biggest weaknesses. That could probably
Absolutely.
definitely be a starter for them, but it would also have to depend on the map and such.
Absolutely. It all, it really comes down to how each map individually ends up playing. You get something like Gibraltar, and you have to change it up completely off of like something like JQ, and you really go hard for the dive, or Circuit Royale and you go hard for the SIG. You really
Definitely.
find the ability to be flexible there.
Yeah, I mean, they're just maps where you can honestly run any comp, but maps like Gibraltar, Circuit Royale, even Junkertown, you just got to be like, there's like specific like comps that will just be better than like any others. Like, you wouldn't really see a Brawl comp on Gibraltar most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny, Sim being as good as she is, there's always a little bit more flexibility that she allows. And KR being the next picked map here really, allows for Sim to be able to pop off, but could be
Definitely,
very interesting to see how both all the tank picks end up interacting.
definitely a very strong poke and Brawl map, I will say that.
Absolutely. So ban from Lucio is just really going to impact the pace of this next map, actually. Very interesting
Definitely.
ban.
Yeah, they really don't want that any like rush comps running around Kings Row, do they?
No, definitely not. They really want to make sure that the pace of the game is really impacted. It could be very interesting to see how SJU is planning to really slow this game down.
Definitely. And I think the Lucio ban, like, in a way was pretty smart just because every time like what impacted SJU the most was just Junker Queen like just going into their backline with that Lucio speed boost. It's just like they're just dominating, man.
No, absolutely. I love seeing a good JQ get aggressive in every fight, and just such a fun character to watch, a fun character to cast for. And Cadenza is absolutely killing it on
He
the JQ.
is. Like once that JQ is in front of your face, you're as good as dead.
No, absolutely. It's just the life steal, axe, knife just makes it so hard
Yeah,
to get away. We saw how good knife is on denying Doomfist that touch in on the first round of Samoa here.
definitely.
Uh-oh. Little technical difficulty here in the match. That's all right. We bring it back to KR.
Yep.
What are you expecting to see here, Nutty?
So I would like to probably see. So even with the Lucio ban, you're kind of like limited on like Russian Brawl. A good poke here on the defensive side would definitely like be very good here. On attack, I would say you could also run the same thing, even Brawl. It's just that with the Brawl, if the attackers do decide to go with that, they will have to play a little slower since that Lucio ban really just impacts it.
No, absolutely. So you really, it's very interesting to see how everything has changed. You can already see SJU going for the Kiri on a super aggressive backline.
We're getting a Diva
Okay.
pick as well. Okay.
Yeah. Super interesting, actually. Ooh, and the Zarya pick on SJU's side might be a little dangerous for Cadenza, but Wu Yong applies so much long-range pressure.
Yeah, with the Zara Reaper comp specifically, there's a really special way of like kind of doing it, right? So I think what they might be doing is like Reaper kind of TPs in the back line or in the middle. Zara bubbles him. It's kind of a win-win right there. Zarya either gets charged or Reaper gets a pick. One of them will just honestly happen.
No, absolutely. There's so much room. There's so much room to get aggressive in these comps. But Cadenza going for the Doomfist is going to be very interesting.
Definitely.
They get a little aggressive, trying to find the Captain Chuck early, but Cadenza finding himself the first early pick. Online finding himself a victim too is really going to force Purdue Silver to curb their aggression here.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying. Looks like they're trying to run a dive here on their Brawly poke comp.
Very interesting on the side of Purdue here, but I do like to see a little Doomfist and want to see Cadenza get super aggressive here. But
yeah, I mean,
hard to break this defense.
I agree. They can coordinate calling out Anna's sleep dart. That could definitely help the Doomfist try to get a pick on her during this fight.
Hanzu finding a nice little headshot as the first pick in that round, but not able to get super aggressive. Cadenza finding himself punished for his aggression, actually.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
Not able to take advantage of that even.
I mean, SJU is just holding it down right now. They're not letting their backline get destroyed by their dive at all.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it really takes a lot of awareness to be able to curb the aggression of a team as good as Purdue Silver. But Zarya getting a little aggressive. Mr. Hands looking to absolutely throw said Hands.
Definitely. It looks like they're running Sim here.
Yeah. Sim allows for definitely a bit extra, positioning freedom. The TP being such a big thing to be able to avoid cooldowns ultimate. Cloudburst playing a little bit with Cadenza in the corner.
Yeah, it's like exchanging highs before they start fighting each other.
little bit of playing toesies.
Ooh, looks like the Anna's gonna.
Cloudburst. Yeah, I'm finding a nice little first pick there. Saying Cadenza getting the nano to go all the way in as much as he would like.
Ooh,
very nice.
Yeah, this Reaper here. Oh, goes for the Death Blossom and gets shut down.
Yeah, goes for the Death Blossom. Isn't able to find as much maybe as he would like, but Mr. Hands, even at 100% charge, is just not going to be able to do as much damage as he wants.
Yeah, and that's just with their comp. They have to be a little patient. Wasn't working in the beginning, but once you solidify that first pick, it's just like a walk in the park through there for them, I say.
No, absolutely. I say Cadenza being able to maintain the ultimate here might get a little aggressive even. We're going to be able to see an interesting nano blade potentially coming out from SJU. We'll have to see if Calvin is able to land nicely. The bubble, though, is going to prevent a whole lot of defense cooldowns from being able to come out. But the dash going directly into the telephone box.
Damn, that is just
that's
too...
gonna be so unfortunate.
Yeah, just two ults that got really no impact. That's definitely gonna sting SJCU a little.
No, absolutely. The last thing you ever want to stop your blade is just map gank, and it looks like SJU is just a bunch of timing.
Yeah.
But still putting up a really good fight in this game.
I agree. Purdue Silver, they're really hit. Oh, looks like Reaper is standing still there, probably to just reset.
Yeah, just stagger and get back to next fight makes a lot of sense. But the ult thing on both teams is still looking a little bit stacked even. Kitsune and Grab almost being up on the side of SJU, and Purdue having just 3 ult to the bank.
Definitely, you know, this grab could either be really good or just not get any value, honestly, with how mobile their dive is. It looks like they get the Doom, and he doesn't die.
A little bit of a solo grab even? Ooh,
Yeah.
I see young Flex finding himself directly stomped on. It's gonna be unfortunate for his health insurance.
Get out again. Looks like Venture's trying to finish off this Genji, and
Very nice stuff coming out from Purdue. Really putting an end to these fights as quick as they can. Mr. Hand finding himself stuck in the corner. Gonna be the last one to be able to win out the second point to be his opponent to last.
yeah, honestly. And they still have pulse even, so they can easily get another fight in here with their really mobile comp.
No, absolutely. I really want to see Online get their aggressive positioning, but Canenza deciding to go all the way in. Not getting the punch, but ASB said, let me finish that off for you.
It looks like Venture's looking for an ult here.
Definitely.
Here he is, one.
Ooh, ASB finding himself in a precarious position. Might have to back up a little bit even to be a little careful. Ooh, but a little excavation initiation coming out from ASB might be able to find a nice first pick here. Not gonna get too much value from it though.
Yeah, that is.
Ooh,
Zarya was.
Coordination.
That's really nice. That's a good turnover. Looks like they grab the Venture and Doom.
No, absolutely. They're being able to coordinate like that is such a coordinated team environment thing. Really nice to be able to see from these teams.
Definitely, and you know, seeing the Venture get nanoed and not the Doom, that was definitely a smart call by the Ana, just because Venture just doesn't have the HP to live that grab, unlike Doom.
Definitely not. Canenza finding one here in the fight with the Nano, but Mr. Hand's creating so much space on the Nano 100% charge that it's going to be really hard for him to outdo that.
Yeah, it looks like Reaper here is looking for a Blossom, maybe trying to position for it. Potentially.
It could be super interesting to see how each team ends up approaching this. Really want to be able to see Purdue get aggressive with their Kitsune.
Looks like we're going for a blade from SJU.
Yeah, so SV finding himself victim might cause Hatsu to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah,
really
I mean that's just another blade that didn't really get much value. SJU's end, so that's definitely going to sting him.
Absolutely. Should be very interesting how Canenza is just using this high ground to get a little bit aggressive on the enemy team. Oh, but nice punch coordination out of Canenza. Might find Mr. Hands, but Captain Chuck finds one first. Ooh, both teams turning their Anas.
Yeah, ooh, looks like they get the Reaper too.
So they find the Reaper, but online being found in results. This fight is just scrappy beyond belief, but you know what? SJU call themselves scrappers.
I agree. You know, both teams are like just trading, but once, you know, Zarya with the full charge grabbed that Doom, it was kind of already over there.
No, absolutely. It's just, you know, Zarya is able to just live so long and put out so much that it's really hard to beat her in these fights.
Definitely. Really curious as to what they go here.
This caster will actually be right back. Just 1 second.
Ready for battle.
It looks like they're going Zarya here on defense.
Looks like I just caught the beginning of this round here.
Definitely.
Coming out in the Freya though, on the side of Purdue, they're really looking to put out a lot more ranged pressure in these fights, but the D.Va might put a stop to that.
SJU's getting kind of shut down.
Definitely. It looks like SJU is trying to control this right side of the map to be able to use this as high ground, but it looks like Mr. Hands isn't going to be able to stand and choke maybe as much as he'd like.
Definitely.
Calabi just walking through the map, being able to put down some graffiti, letting his teammates handle the aggression.
Yeah, that's just a, oh, looks like we. Ooh, okay.
Definitely. Purdue looking to hardcore hold the choke here, but outside of the Honor's view, they might struggle a little bit. Online still managing to scare SJU a little bit at a hard pushing, but
Definitely.
ooh, without the Wraith, might find himself a victim. Captain Chuck able to find Online, but Purdue finds 3 in response. Purdue is just playing this fantastically.
Definitely. You know, even though the Reaper got picked off, they were able to get about 3 of their teammates, you know, down. So I'd say that was definitely a good trade.
Oh, absolutely. I think Purdue, you know, in a lot of these fights, even both teams are able to, even if they lose one, you know, if you're able to find an opportunity to take advantage and find 2, you know, it's just so worth it. So might as well just be aggressive as much as you can.
It looks like here Cadenza has grab. Yeah, here has ult. Tracer pulse on SJU's, and it looks like we're coming up with Kitsune and Nano, so definitely looks like Genji tagged by
Ooh, ASB with a nasty little spam down and rain onto young Elex. And finding Cloudberry. It's gonna be a nasty 2 first picks here.
Definitely.
Looks like Captain Chuck might be looking for a little bit of a sneaky flex play here. The Nerf guns looking pretty funny here, actually. Ooh, Mr. Hands looking to sort of maybe get a little second life here, but they didn't really find it, not much with it. Ooh, Captain Chuck finding himself a victim of a nasty few direct goals there. Calabi going down in response. Bones finding himself a victim here as well at the hands of ASV. ASV going disgusting on the Freya, but can he go disgusting enough is the question.
Definitely.
So. Real nice to see how Purdue is able to turn this aggression over and respond to it in kind. Really think that they're showing that they know how to run these Zarya comps as well.
Definitely, you know, they're just holding it down. They're not letting the D.Va, you know, disrupt their backline, and it looks like it forced them to switch to Hazard.
Yeah, Hazard is such an interesting dive tank here. Really might allow Mr. Hands to be able to spin a little bit more and produce backline, maintain a little bit more mobility in the process.
Definitely.
Ooh, Cadenza finding himself in an unfortunate position there. Mike ended up getting traded out, but said, "Let me take some with me first." Calabi actually found himself the first victim.
That's just a clean fight right there. You get the grab, and you have the Blossom, just, you know, get that extra damage off the you know, victims. You know, that was just played perfectly by Purdue Silver.
No, absolutely. I think Purdue, you know, is just playing so well.
I agree.
Really showing that they have an amazing understanding of space.
For sure.
And a great play here. So Nutty, what did you think of that game?
That was definitely a rough game for Purdue Silver at first, but you know, once they definitely got to defense on their end, they were just able to just dominate. They did not let the D.Va get in their backline. They were just able to just hold their ground. The coordination was definitely there. SJU just was not able to get a pick on their backline at all. They were all spread apart, great positioning, honestly. This was definitely a well-played game by Purdue Silver, and SJU is definitely, struggling a little with their different comps that, Silver has.
No, definitely. It is very it is very interesting to see how Purdue Silver is just trying to, outplay SJU on the comps that they're running. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like it ends up at least going well. The Zarya is just such a bad matchup in a diva. I think they might have SJU might have even tried to force it for a second too long,
Yeah, and
costing them
honestly,
valuable time.
you can go diva on a Zarya. It's definitely playable. It's just Cadenza was able to, like, at the right times, like, bubble himself, his teammates, and he was just able to have like almost full charge that whole game. So at that point, it's just going diva is just like a waste, I would say.
Yep, I think that's a really fair way to break it down. I do
Definitely.
think that with how you need to play into Zarya on Diva, you have to be able to play around the map around the Zarya, and that just creates so much more space and fear for the team running the Zarya
You
that I
definitely
think
have to
really puts.
almost like, yeah, you definitely have to almost like play like in a brawly way. You can't really dive because if you do, the Zarya turns around, your DM's not gonna save you. So you definitely have to play a lot farther back than you usually do as Diva.
No, absolutely. It's really just an interesting dynamic as to how they play out, but should be very interesting to see how each team goes into this next fight.
Definitely. It looks like it might even be the last for SJU if Purdue Silver here takes the W.
Definitely. Really want to see Purdue, take time, get aggressive in these fights, and I'm really excited to see what they end up going for next.
Definitely, definitely. I'm really curious as to what the bans will be because now that, if I'm not wrong, once they ban the person, they're not going to be, they can be played for the rest of the games. Is that true?
Yep, I believe that's true. It's so I believe that the way that the bans work is likely, uh, that one hero can be banned per match. So Purdue isn't able to repeat. Neither Purdue nor SJU are able to repeat their bans for following maps, which is why you don't see a lot of heroes banned multiple times, or those bans are used more strategically for certain maps
Definitely.
when they might be more valuable.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. So a little bit of a bio break here for both teams, but we should be back here quite soon. All right. Let's go ahead and get started in this next map here. We're gonna be going with Suravasha and a little Wu Young band on the side of SJU. What do you think about that,
Definitely.
Nutty?
I think the Wu Ying band, I don't really know much about the Wu Ying band specifically since they didn't really play Wu Ying at all. I will say though, Wu Ying is a very strong support, especially on most Flashpoint maps, just because of how much mobility, how much like projectile he has. So I wouldn't say it's a bad band, but it's not like the best, I would say, in my opinion.
No, that's totally a fair take to be able to have. You know, you're totally right. We really haven't been seeing much Wu Yong, but could be a big factor in such a long range map, which is why I believe that, a pick like JQ is so valuable. Being able to cross that distance with Lucio is just so good. But it totally
Definitely.
depends on the point.
And it looks like Purdue Silver bans Reaper.
Ooh,
Okay. Looks like that
say
Reaper really
very
was.
interesting bans.
Yeah. Looks like they don't want that for backline getting as pressured with that Reaper ban since he was doing a lot that last game in Kings
No,
Row.
no, he was definitely really putting in the pressure on on there. And I really, I'd really like to see um I'd really like to see Purdue maybe play around like the Tracer Genji possibly could be a big combination for both
Definitely.
teams.
You know, the good thing about Flashpoint, it's all about like whoever gets to the point first. And honestly, just building up another rush comp here it would just honestly just turn the game around for Purdue Silver. They could just easily take this dub home.
No, absolutely. I'd say could really see a lot of interest in playing as aggressive as they can, just trying to keep up the momentum. And it's a hard situation to be put in for these matches because the pressure is high to perform.
Definitely, definitely.
But you definitely want to be able to see these players shine, and I think that SJU and Purdue Silver are just both chock full of fantastic players, and I'm excited to see how they both end up turning out.
Definitely. Oh, and it looks this is an interesting comp from Purdue Silver. Oh, okay, they're swapping. I was about to say
would be very interesting for sure.
a Hog and Sim, Mercy.
I'd say we can get a little silly with it, possibly. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really, I'm interested to see how the monkey ends up playing out for Purdue.
Definitely.
On this map, Tracer Genji, kind of as we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely looks like they're going for the Soj here potentially. Oh, looks like Cadenza's out.
Yeah, Cadenza ends up getting a little bit melted at the beginning of that fight, unfortunately, but violence being found in response. Kalami also finding his hand online doing the same. But Atsu really trying his best to be able to find something here at the end of this fight, but not able to find much. I say a very well played fight from SJU there, being able to punish a lot of Purdue Silver's aggression.
I agree. That's very unfortunate. They really just don't want to let Purdue Silver take this home. They're putting their all in clearly.
Now they said we're still alive here in the corner. I say they're really just showing a tons of signs of life, and super excited. I'm excited to see if they really find the method to get aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Winston here is trying to look for a dive.
A little bit of staging here on Purdue's side. Hatsu finding that first pick is going to be very nice. Cadenza trying to get a little bit aggressive, holding that space against the Sigcom. Winston able to get a little bit up more in Sigma's space, more than you would expect against a lot of other tanks.
It's like
able to retake that space.
Looks like SJU is gonna have Beat and Critic Flux and potentially Blade even and Sojourn side.
Yeah, I was gonna. The Blade, the Blade Kitsune could be definitely a big factor here going into this next fight, but definitely it's gonna be hard to be able to compete with the Blade overclock Kitsune. Flux that SJU have coming in response. Ooh, a little Sigma coming out here. Little few fast picks here from SJU is really going to be able to certify this fight nice and early. My goodness.
Definitely, they have the speed. As they get back, and I'm possibly seeing Cadenza definitely primal here once he gets low.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say they're really looking to get aggressive with that Winston ult. Being able to use primal to
Definitely.
get in as much as you would like is going to be so valuable.
Ooh, it looks like Tracer's down.
A little glitch coming up from Cloudburst here, but there's no finding one early. Cloudburst finding another one in Calamy. Purdue trying to respond with their own Kitsune, but not finding all that much to be able to speak of. Cadenza doing the best that he can. Might saves Primal for next fight, just in case.
Definitely.
Looks like Purdue is gonna have to give up that point.
Yeah, I would say not. It's very tempting to use Primal there. 'Cause, you know, you assume you can stall, but it just have been melted in seconds with all of them just looking at. So that was a good save on Cadenza.
No, definitely. There's no guarantee either that Purdue will be able to come back and compete in time. So both teams looking to compete on this next map with Sig holding part, and but Cadenza looking to get a little bit aggressive on SJU's backline.
Sig here is getting picked off first. Go.
Sig finding himself a victim. You know, Cadenza creating so much space here for Purdue Silver is going to be so valuable for them.
Yeah, I would say the Sig pick against their dive is definitely going to be a little tough. Just so with Sig's mobility, it's not the best with their dive because they SJU's backline, and then it's just Sig's not going to have enough time to, like, you know, follow up and peel, I would say.
No, definitely not. It all comes down to whether or not they're able to find the aggression that they want. Cadenza, you know, using that primal and getting in a little bit more in this close room is going to be able to put in a lot of pressure. Mr.
Secure, he was one.
Mr. Hanzo at the same time saying, look around. Cadenza finding the rest of his team was definitely survive.
I mean, that was just two beautiful picks by Cadenza, killing both backlines. But ooh, it looks like they're struggling here a little. Not forgetting all those picks.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. How quickly put a little bit of a precarious position, but
yeah,
Purdue's ult bank still looking a little nasty, but they might end up getting pressure a little bit too much.
Definitely.
They're saying that we might end up going back in, getting aggressive, finding 4. My goodness, what a blade Kitsune.
I agree. That was just a clean blade on their part. You know, I was a little worried for Purdue Silver at first. You know, when they were getting picked off, even after getting, you know, all those picks. But, you know, ASVP just said, no, we're gonna go in now. We're not giving them this point, and then, you know, he delivered.
No, absolutely. It's absolutely being able to control the pace of the battle is such a good thing to be able to do. I guess Cloudburst trying to find a little space, but online, unfortunately, finding himself in victim.
Yeah, it looks like so definitely is in a bit of a crunch here with this team. Oh, goes for a nice little dive. Curie gets picked off as well.
Yeah, so the victim. ASB also going down. Finding one, but this won't be enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Purdue, you know, is really struggling a little bit, you know, with the amount of long-range pressure being put onto them. Might be, you know, it's just a little dangerous for them to be able to handle here, frankly.
I agree, yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, they end up very interesting to see them be on the same comp. Really should theoretically work, but, you know, both teams just a little bit of a...
Definitely. It looks like Lucio gets prophetic flux, then that's a lot of ults popped by SJU right there.
My goodness, that is just so much aggression being funneled out, so much damage on the side of SJU. It really, you know, but they did exhaust 4 ults for it.
I agree, you know, they still, Purdue Silver definitely still has what Primal. They're getting close to another Kitsune rush potentially, so if they can touch here, it would definitely it would be huge for them definitely to turn this fight around.
Ooh, Cadenza finding a nice touch here. You know, he still has Primal, so he's gonna have lots of opportunity to be able to hold that point.
Definitely. Trying to look for
Calamite being found dead, but ASB going aggressive on Bones here. Ooh, a little scared for him to jump off the map, honestly.
Yeah, you know, if he went any further, he probably would have just been off.
I'll say, but he says, I know what I'm talking about. Don't you worry about me.
And a nice little cleanup here from Cadenza. That's just beautiful.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Cadenza just getting nasty on the monkey. My goodness, he is just a treat to be able to watch. The fantastic player.
Winston definitely is, with his primary, it's definitely hard to finish a kill alone. But in terms of finishing the fight, you know, Winston's primary is just so good for that, honestly. And that's a good example of seeing that was here with Cadenza.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think a big part of why Monkey's been so good, you know, and really, you know, Purdue Silver just not giving us any downtime to be able to talk about Monkey here. So that's okay. They are just going absolutely disgusting. But holding the space, you know, the flux coming out from Mr. Hands, being able to find an alone Sojourn here in online, finding himself picked off at the beginning of this fight.
Definitely.
With SJU being at 99 at this point, might be a little hard. Might be a little hard for Purdue Silver to give up any space.
Don't let them take the point.
Looks like they'll pay the price for it.
Yeah, I guess overextending there a little definitely did cost them a little. Just Sig was able to get that pick right there on the online, which definitely sucks. But there is still one more fight to happen, definitely.
No, definitely, absolutely. There's definitely another point, another couple points here for Purdue to get, but you know, being put at match point for this map is really a dangerous position for Purdue to be in.
I agree. Yeah.
I think SJU is really finding themselves saying that, you know, finding aggression. You know, Cloudburst, you know, being able to put out a ton of damage is really putting a dent in Purdue's plans.
Definitely. It looks like SJU is gonna take this point in the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely. SJU really just putting out a treat of a game here, and it is really exciting to be able to see their ultimate combos and how well that these teams are playing this match.
It really is, yeah.
Purdue getting point control here. ASB finding a great pick there, allowing Purdue Silver to play even more aggressively. My goodness, they are just going a little silly here. Kelly finding himself a victim though, unfortunately. Online and ASB doing a nasty combo.
Definitely, they did a nice little cleanup here, and they're still getting, you know, percentage, which is definitely really good on Purdue Silver's part.
No, absolutely. Purdue Silver is just really doing a fantastic job of when they do have the space to be able to play as they choose in these fights. You know, they're being aggressive. They're playing really well. It's just hard with SJU outputting so much damage, just like with Captain Chuck. Just being able to find online in this fight is just so unfortunate.
Definitely.
But ASB finding the aggression here to get the 3-pick. Oh my goodness! He said, "No, I'm not letting this point go." My God.
Man. ASB has just had some really good blades during this game in Servasa. It's honestly they're honestly all just like game winning for like getting these, you know, objectives.
Absolutely. I really couldn't agree more. It's just so good to be able to see you know, these great blades. It's such a fight turning ability that ASB and that both ASB and Cloudburst are using incredibly well.
It looks like they want the Maga pick to kind of burn down Winston. Dive.
The Maga pick here is definitely a danger for Cadenza in this last fight. Could be that we see a response pick from him here. He's not able to do much. Yep, the Diva swap coming out.
Yeah, I mean, thing with Malga, the best way to approach Malga itself is you just can't shoot him. You have to like somehow go around his backline and just kind of like through that go towards him. Because just shooting at the Malga is not going to do much, especially for the tank. Because he's just like Orisa. He's an unstoppable just machine who just shoots at you.
He's able to find so much space. Mr. Hand's finding himself a little bit pressured, so he has to back up. And the Kitsune guiding us is gonna be just in conjunction to that.
Definitely.
Ooh. He's not finding as much space as he'd like to take. That is alright. Captain Chef finding himself going down in this fight as well.
Definitely. Looks like Genji can potentially get picked off here. Oh, Lucio and Genji won.
Ooh, Hatsu finding a nice pick on the Cloud Bears there. Could give Cadenza the room to play that he would like. Ooh, Kalami also finding the Lucio deck here is gonna be disgusting.
Definitely. And that's honestly right there how you just want to go about going against Malga. You just have to go for his backline because once his supports are dead, he's just like a walking feeding machine. It's just he's such a huge target.
No, absolutely. I really, it's also really nice on Diva to have that DM usage, being able to just provide so much heal that you might not otherwise get. Really just nice, really nice space taking on Cadenza's side if you're able to see exactly how he's using that. Super cool usage.
Definitely.
But, a big ultimate fight coming out on the side of coming out on both sides here. Ooh.
It looks like it's the pick on Kiriko.
Yeah, finding the pick with Kiriko here is just gonna be nasty, but ASV finding Cloud Burst there might be dangerous, but ooh, a big cage potentially coming out. Here. Ooh, ASV might die to the it doesn't die to the burn, still able to maintain this life.
Definitely.
But just
that is a huge pick right there.
Absolutely massive. Ooh, all Purdue Silver needs to do is survive, but we'll see if we're able to manage that. Unfortunately, looks like they might not have the numbers to this fight, but they might also spell us wrong. Potentially, Bomb could find figure. Ooh,
that is just unfortunate.
Super ultra close game on both sides.
Definitely, if that Genji, if AFC just would have been alive a little more, his blade potentially would have just turned that fight around and just ended the game right there. But that's just unfortunate seeing him die.
Yeah, there really is so much great play coming out from both of these teams. And
I agree.
It's amazing how close these fights are.
Yeah, the Mago swap definitely was good on SJU's end. It really just stopped the dive overall. They just had to change up their forcing Cadenza to change up, what tank they play.
Yeah. And I think that the monkey dive could work really well there, but SJU, I'm sure as an experienced team is showing that they know exactly, how to play into some of these comps here. Really just making
definitely.
sure that the knowledge is checked. But it is really cool to see how both teams end up kind of curbing and going aggressive as they need to.
Definitely curious on who gets banned here.
Definitely. Right. I'll say we'll go to break here for a second while both teams take their buyout break, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes.
Definitely.
All right, looks like we are back here for another round. I'll say Purdue being up 2-1 here in this fight is or in this match is going to be good for Purdue, but losing Sorabasa there might impact their tempo a little bit. Kind of, what do you think going into this next map here? What do you think Purdue needs to succeed, Nodi?
Yeah, honestly, with the Lucio already being banned, they could honestly just run the like JQ rush comp here again, JQ any rush comp I would say is definitely strong on push, just with how much like lane potential and just like angles you can take. I will say that's one of their stronger comps that they should definitely, try to implement here. On SJU side, I would honestly just say like try to like definitely like go for a potential dive maybe. The thing with, you know, honestly every like bot payload map is you can really do anything. Brawl, dive, poke maybe not so much, but it's definitely a hyper mobile, comps you want to go for here to really just succeed.
Absolutely. Being able to play so much of the map, with push, you have so much of the map in at play in any time, so much relevant time, and Magaben actually coming out here is gonna
Yeah.
allow for even more tank aggression on the side of both teams.
Yeah, seeing the Malga ban makes me kind of think the Cadenza just potentially might go Winston here. Because Winston's also a really great, dive pick here on this map. Spots,
Definitely.
get a pick. Jump on.
It's really interesting also because Maga was a really big linchpin into how SJU was able to take back a lot of the last point there.
Oh, and it looks like they banned Ana, so seeing the Ana ban, not sure actually. They definitely might not go hog here. It's probably just to like prevent, the anti-nade dart definitely.
Yeah, could be that they want to go ahead and ban kind of getting like those big anti plays, really exposing how both teams have their win conditions being set out for without ultimates. Ana not being in play really can impact a lot of comps viability. Ooh, interesting
Definitely.
comps.
And it looks like they do go the JQ rush comp here. That's just like so strong here. Venture kind of just like, dive with the JQ, when they're on the backline with JQ, and then, Lucio speed boost. It's definitely going to be hard for SJU to kind of deal with this just because they weren't able to like officially deal with, the rush comp on Samoa on that first game.
No, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how both teams kind of end up handling this rush. How both teams end up handling rush and really opting for that as a good option here.
Definitely.
Both tanks allowing for an interesting amount of aggression.
Definitely.
It ends up playing this specifically in a way where he can kind of play this corner too aggressive, but Atsu still ends up finding himself dead here.
And that was a good little boop there, but unfortunately it looks like SJU is going to take this.
Yeah, it's a great boop from Kalani. Unfortunately, doesn't mean that he's always going to be that safe, but Cadenza is still finding himself two there in that fight. It's still quite
Yeah. He definitely should have, reset or at least try to back up because, it's staggering on a bot payload. It's just gonna cost you so much for your team, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't put SJU in a great position, but it could put Purdue Silver in an even worse one for sure.
Definitely.
But Purdue Silver definitely trying to take back this space as aggressively as they can, and I think they've got a great chance of being able to turn it around here if they play their cards right.
Definitely.
Playing the ball here, ASB still looking to get quite aggressive.
Yeah. Zarya doesn't have bubbles here, and honestly, just with Zarya comps, it's really important to call out, when they have bubble, when they have no bubbles, because that way you know when to, kind of like shut Zarya down, because she's very easy to explode upon when you know that she has like her bubble cooldowns. That's definitely what we saw here, which is nice.
Oh, definitely. So super, you know, it's just such a key part of playing against Zarya, and I really want to see how both teams end up playing this out.
Definitely. It looks like here SJU's going for a Kitsune rush. Reaper here being one.
Ooh, Kansas still looking to get arrested with the charge there, but
That's just unfortunate.
Ooh, you know, SJU is just doing such a good job of being as aggressive as they can and really finding the space to be able to play the game that they want to play. Just really creates just so much pressure on Cadenza to be able to survive in these fights with like the Genji Reaper comp, especially.
Definitely, yeah.
That's just such a hard one to play on. Ooh, and a little blade coming out from Cloudburst here with the Zarya bubble in tow. Still not able to survive maybe as long as he would like, but
Yeah, but they're able to, you know, turn it around.
No, seriously. It looks like Purdue is really at the end of these fights able to find the picks that might be able to turn the fight around. So
Definitely.
hey, they're doing a fantastic job of keeping the match interesting. I'll tell you that for sure.
Definitely. And Reaper here has Blossom, you know. Purdue Silver probably knows this, so they really do have to be careful about how they go about this next fight, because Reaper is definitely going to be looking for a Blossom here, and, you know, to take out their backline at the very least.
Oh, absolutely.
But it looks like Cadenza here might... Oh, looks like he doesn't die. Oh, there it is.
Captain Chuck finding his one here. He's gonna put Purdue in a good position.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been seeing a lot of like solo Death Blossoms, and that's just kind of how you have to play it, because Death Blossom is a very predictable ult, and it's so easy to shut down if everyone's on the same page. So you really have to use it kind of like a pulse. You have to use it just get a pick if you can, honestly.
No, absolutely. It's such a unique ability that's, you know, great for those 1v1 situations where things are finishing off targets, but use it in the wrong position, you're usually dead.
Definitely. Oh, looks like we see a potential grab here.
Something like a grab is just always a fight changer, but grab coming out
that's
from
it.
both things here.
That was a huge pulse coming from online. Looks like they're able to, you know, do what they do best. Finish off fights.
No,
Like
absolutely.
that.
At the end of these fights, I'm telling you, Purdue Silver is able to find their best situation.
Definitely. I will say though, it's definitely rough, because what I'm noticing is once they get the bot, SJU definitely always has an ult or two to, you know, to counter their push. So I definitely would like to see better ult economy on Purdue Silver's side, just to potentially turn this around.
No, definitely. They need to, you know, be as fast as they can. You know, they're able to find a lot of picks. It's just not until the end of these fights. You know, but Hatsu proving me wrong. Even finding the first pick in this fight might allow Purdue Silver to be a little more aggressive here.
Definitely, you know, Zarya has a...
just absolutely running down, trying to find that Kiri pick. Could be nasty.
That's just huge right there. You know, Kiri, they got the pick on Kiri. They got the pick on, I think it was Bench. The other, I'm not sure the other pick was, but definitely going in strong here.
No worries. I would say a very good set of picks here. It could be really good for Purdue to go all that place. You know, getting quite close. You're taking advantage here. And for SU not able to touch. Dude, and Purdue Silver takes back advantage.
Definitely. And it looks like they have a beat here, so they can definitely save themselves. Oh, and it looks like they got a pick on Reaper. That is huge.
Yeah, so that is massive for Purdue Silver going into this next fight. You know, being able to have a massive space advantage is really very solid.
Definitely.
And Young Select being found by ASB. Still going to put SJU in a precarious position. Cadenza even finding the Zarya right there. Saying,
And it looks like... Oh, there we go.
I'm the better Russian power lifter.
Definitely. It looks like SJU has a few ults to come back here, and it looks like they go for an early grab.
I see a huge beat. Oh my goodness, a huge beat and grab for
Yeah.
Purdue Silver, Captain Chuck finding Cadenza with his Blossom, but Hatsu
Definitely.
able to take him out before he can go a little too crazy. Cloudburst put in a precarious position by Venture here. Still might end up meeting his demise. Oh goodness,
Definitely.
this is just a scary situation for SJU.
Yeah, you know, they're Purdue Silver and are really holding their ground here. It looks like they might have to back up because you know, their tank is back and Cadenza's still coming back from that really long walk.
No, definitely. I'll say the massive walk that you have coming back on Bush is kind of a bit of a downer for a lot of teams looking to get aggressive, waiting for players to come back. But Purdue able to come back in full force here could be a big fight win. Plus Kitsune being online could be a big fight changer.
Definitely.
They're still finding a lot of the space. Honestly, the Kitsune coming out from SJU instead first, but a little bit of an expedition out of ASV could create this lead. Kitsune guiding us on Purdue's side could be the nail in the coffin here.
I'm restored.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, that's just the beauty, you know. I definitely will say, any, like, Bob Halo definitely will be, like, one of more Purdue Silver's stronger maps, just with how good they are with their rush comps. You know, they may not have the Junker Queen, but you can honestly do the same with Zarya. You know, it's definitely really helping them here.
No, absolutely. I think, you know, with the Zarya, it's a little bit more dependent on Zarya's charge and that tempo, but Online finding himself being the first pick here. But, you know, Zarya has so much damage on full charge that you really just have to respect it.
Definitely, and it looks like they have Pulse on their side. Definitely grab on SJU side, so this is definitely gonna have to be a good grab here if they're gonna really turn this around, because you know Purdue is really holding their ground here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to see a big combo. Could be looking for blade grab for sure. Waiting on.
It looks like they get a good pick here. Two great picks from ASV, and honestly, they take the fight here.
My goodness, a team kill onto SJU from Purdue really is gonna seal the deal here with 30 seconds left.
Yeah,
putting them into such a scary position.
Definitely.
Side.
Now, if they're able to bait out the Blade and the Reaper ult, you know, I would say Purdue Silver is on a very, very good place here, because they will definitely use that in this last fight potentially, maybe one or even both.
Absolutely, we have seen in this match, you know, in that last minute situation, both teams have been able to kind of take that space. But the big beat coming out here from Purdue, in response to Cloudburst, you know, going to be able to keep most of Purdue alive.
Definitely, and it looks like Purdue Silver might take this dub.
Purdue Silver just playing so incredibly well up to the end of this match, controlling Bobbert there.
And then that's the game, guys.
Yeah, and Purdue Silver takes this game at a fantastic 3-1. An amazing play. Really on their side.
Purdue Silver definitely needed this win, you know, to get back. You know, they have really good potential. You know, the coordination, the really like coordinated rush comp. It's definitely what's getting them up here. And honestly, a very well-deserved hard-earned win for Purdue Silver.
No, absolutely. You know, they played just so incredibly well. They played so incredibly well in that match, and I'm really excited to see how they end up playing these future matches. Really see a lot of fantastic aggression from them, and I'm really excited to see how they end up taking them these matches in the future.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I'll say a great match on both sides. You know, thank you guys so much for having us tonight. Again, my name is Nate, aka Medica.
My name is Nutty, aka Abby.
And I say thank you guys so much for having us tonight, and we will see you guys in the next Purdue Overwatch tournament game.
Yep. See you guys.